You look at successful people and wonder what they have that you don't. You see them making smart decisions, building wealth, maintaining great relationships, and living with confidence. Meanwhile, you're struggling to get your life together, wondering why everything feels so hard, so out of control. You work just as hard as they do. You have dreams just like they do. You want success just as much as they do. So why are they thriving while you're still stuck in the same patterns, making the same mistakes, getting the same disappointing results? Here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to face. It's not about talent, luck, or opportunities. It's about control. Specifically, it's about controlling 4 fundamental areas that determine everything in your life. Most people live like they're passengers in their own lives. They let their words fly out without thinking. They allow negative thoughts to run wild in their heads. They get swept away by every emotion that hits them. They spend money without any real plan or purpose. Then they wonder why their lives feel chaotic, why relationships fall apart, why opportunities slip away, why they never seem to get ahead financially. But successful people, they understand something powerful. They know that life isn't about controlling external circumstances. It's about controlling yourself, and there are exactly 4 areas where this control makes all the difference. Your mouth, your mind, your mood, your money. These 4 elements might seem simple, even obvious, but here's what's shocking. 90% of people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they can't master these 4 basic areas of self-control. When you can't control your words, people stop trusting you and relationships break. When you can't control your thoughts, you stay in the same place and can't improve yourself. When you can't control your mood, you make bad choices that damage your health and future. And when you can't control your money, you stay poor, stressed, and never reach real financial freedom. But here's the incredible news. These 4 areas are completely within your power to change. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need special circumstances. You just need to understand how they work and commit to doing what it takes. Welcome to Fluent English with Riadio. We're here to do more than help you master English. We're here to walk with you on the journey to mastering yourself and creating the life you truly want. Today, we're diving deep into the 4 pillars that separate people who struggle from people who succeed. These aren't just concepts. These are practical, proven strategies that have transformed millions of lives. But they'll only transform yours if you're ready to take responsibility and take action. Control your mouth. Speak with power. Every word that leaves your mouth is like a seed planted in the world. Some seeds grow into beautiful relationships, amazing opportunities, and lasting success. Other seeds grow into weeds of conflict, missed chances, and damaged reputation. The difference isn't luck, it's intention. Most people treat their words like they're free. They complain about everything. They gossip about everyone. They make promises they don't keep. They speak without thinking about the consequences. What they don't realize is that every word is either building their future or destroying it. Every sentence is either establishing them as someone trustworthy and valuable or as someone to avoid and ignore. Your words have power, real power. They can open doors or slam them shut. They can create allies or enemies. They can inspire action or destroy motivation. They can build confidence or crush dreams. The question is, are you using this power intentionally or are you letting it control you? Let me show you the difference with two powerful examples. First, let's look at what happens when words spiral out of control. During the highly publicized defamation trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, the world watched as uncontrolled words destroyed a career and reputation. Amber Heard's inability to maintain consistency in her statements, her contradictory testimony, and her failure to think before speaking became the story itself. Every contradiction was recorded, every emotional outburst was analyzed. Her uncontrolled words didn't just damage her case in court. They destroyed her credibility in the eyes of millions of people around the world. What should have been a private legal matter became a public demonstration of how quickly uncontrolled speech can unravel everything you've worked to build. Now contrast that with one of the most powerful examples of controlled speech in human history. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. 27 years. He had every reason to emerge filled with bitterness, hatred, and desire for revenge. The entire world expected him to speak words of anger and retaliation when he was finally freed. But when he was finally freed, Mandela chose his words with care. He spoke about forgiveness, reconciliation, and unity. His controlled and purposeful speech helped heal a divided nation, changed his own future, and inspired millions of people around the world. The difference between these two examples isn't circumstances or education or natural ability. It's the conscious choice to control what comes out of your mouth. Here's your challenge, and this is where you take action right now. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start controlling every word that comes out of your mouth today, and watch how it becomes your most powerful tool for building your reputation and future. Choose wise silence over negative words, because silence is not weakness, it is strategic strength. The first step is learning to pause before you speak in important moments. This simple habit will change everything. Before you respond to criticism, before you share your opinion in a meeting, before you react to bad news, take 3 seconds to think. Ask yourself, will these words help my situation or hurt it? Will they build the relationship or damage it? Will they move me toward my goals or away from them? Once you've mastered the pause, you need to become a master of active listening. Most people listen just enough to formulate their response. They're so busy thinking about what they want to say next that they miss what's actually being communicated. When you truly listen, you speak less, but with much greater impact. Quality always trumps quantity when it comes to words. As you develop better listening skills, you'll naturally start choosing language that builds instead of destroys. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning how to." Replace "this is impossible" with "this is challenging, but I'll find a way." Replace complaints with solutions. Replace criticism with encouragement. Your words should be tools for construction, not demolition. However, the most important change you can make is to eliminate gossip and lies completely. This might be the most difficult change for some people, but it's absolutely essential. Every time you gossip, you train people not to trust you with important information. Every time you lie, even about small things, you chip away at your integrity. Your word must be your bond if you want to be taken seriously in this world. Along with eliminating negative speech, you must also practice the power of silence. You don't need to fill every pause in conversation. You don't need to have an opinion about everything. Sometimes the most intelligent thing you can say is nothing at all. Learn to be comfortable with silence. It's not emptiness, it's space for wisdom to emerge. Most importantly, speak to yourself with the same respect you'd show someone you admire. The way you talk to yourself in your head becomes the foundation for how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. Start each day with affirming words. I am capable of achieving my goals. I choose to focus on solutions. I am becoming better every single day. Finally, before every conversation, make your words count. Ask yourself if what you're about to say is true, necessary, and kind. If it doesn't meet all three criteria, consider staying silent or finding a better way to express yourself. Remember, your words are creating your reality every single day. They're either building the life you want or destroying the life you could have. Take control of them now and start speaking your success into existence. Control your mind, build focus and strength. Your mind is the control center of your entire existence. Every action you take, every decision you make, every result you achieve starts with a single thought. If you fill your mind with fear and doubt, your life will collapse into chaos. If you train your mind with focus and discipline, your life will rise with clarity and success. Here's what most people don't understand. You are not your thoughts. You have the power to choose which thoughts you entertain and which ones you dismiss. You can train your mind just like you train your body. But most people live like prisoners of their own thinking. They dwell on past mistakes and failures. They worry obsessively about things that might go wrong in the future. They compare themselves to others and always find reasons to feel inadequate. They fill their minds with negative news, toxic social media, and pessimistic conversations. Then they wonder why they feel anxious, depressed, and stuck. Successful people approach their minds completely differently. They understand that mental discipline is just as important as any other kind of discipline. They carefully choose what information goes into their minds. They practice focusing on solutions instead of problems. They train themselves to see opportunities where others see obstacles. The ancient truth says, "As a man thinketh, so is he." This isn't just philosophy, it's practical science. Your thoughts determine your emotions. Your emotions determine your actions. Your actions determine your results. Your results determine your life. Let me show you two perfect examples of how mind control changes everything. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Think about that for a moment. The man widely considered the greatest basketball player who ever lived wasn't even good enough for his high school team when he was young. Most people in that situation would have let their minds go to dark places. I guess I'm not good enough. Maybe I should quit and try something else. The coach was right to cut me. But Jordan's mind worked differently. Instead of accepting defeat, he used rejection as fuel. He chose to think, "I'll prove they were wrong." He visualized himself succeeding. He focused on improvement instead of dwelling on disappointment. He trained his mind to see setbacks as setups for comebacks. That mental discipline, that choice to control his thinking, led to 6 NBA championships and a legacy that inspires athletes around the world. Now, let me tell you about Tony Robbins. Today, he's one of the most successful motivational speakers and life coaches in the world, helping millions of people transform their lives. But his childhood was a nightmare. He grew up in poverty with an abusive mother. He was hungry, scared, and surrounded by dysfunction. Most people with that background would develop a victim mentality. They'd think, life is unfair. I can't succeed because of my circumstances. But Tony discovered something life-changing. He could choose his thoughts. He trained his mind to focus on possibilities instead of problems. He chose to feed his mind with empowering information instead of dwelling on his difficult circumstances. He decided that his past would not determine his future. That mental discipline didn't just change his thinking, it changed his entire trajectory. Today, Tony Robbins has built a business empire, helped millions of people, and created the exact life he once only imagined in his mind. Don't let negative thinking control you for one more day. Start reprogramming your brain right now to become the best version of yourself, because your future depends on what you choose to think today. The foundation of mental control starts with becoming aware of your thought patterns. Most people go through entire days without paying attention to what's happening in their minds. Start noticing when you think negatively, what triggers pessimistic thoughts. What situations make your mind go to worst-case scenarios? You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Once you develop this awareness, you can begin to challenge every negative thought immediately. When you catch yourself thinking, I can't do this, or this will never work, or I'm not good enough, stop and question it. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or fears? Is it helping me or hurting me? What would I think if I were confident and successful? At the same time, you need to curate your information diet carefully. Your mind becomes what you feed it. If you're constantly consuming negative news, toxic social media, and pessimistic content, that's exactly what your mind will produce. Instead, read books by successful people, listen to podcasts that inspire and educate you. Watch content that builds you up instead of tearing you down. Building on this foundation of better input, practice visualization every single morning. Spend 10 to 15 minutes imagining yourself achieving your goals in vivid detail. See yourself succeeding. Feel what it would be like to have the life you want. Hear the sounds, smell the scents, experience the emotions. Your brain can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you visualize success consistently, your mind starts creating strategies to make it happen. To support your visualization practice, use meditation to quiet the mental noise. Your mind is constantly chattering, planning, worrying, and judging. Meditation teaches you to observe your thoughts without being controlled by them. Even 10 minutes a day can dramatically improve your mental clarity and emotional stability. As you develop these practices, pay special attention to controlling your inner dialogue. Start talking to yourself the way you would talk to someone you love and want to see succeed. Finally, remember that your environment shapes your thinking, so surround yourself with people who think bigger. You become like the people you spend the most time with. If you're surrounded by negative, small-thinking people, their mindset will influence yours. Seek out positive, growth-minded individuals who challenge you to think beyond your current limitations. Your thoughts are creating your reality right now. If you want a different life, you need different thoughts. Stop letting your mind wander into negativity and start directing it toward success with intention and discipline. Control your mood. Protect your future. Your emotions are not something that happen to you. They're something you're responsible for managing. Once you truly understand this, it opens up possibilities you never knew existed. Most people live like emotional prisoners. They wake up in a bad mood and let it ruin their entire day. They get angry and say things that damage relationships. They allow temporary feelings to make permanent decisions. When you let emotions control you, you surrender your power to fleeting feelings that were never meant to make your decisions. You base life-altering choices on temporary storms passing through your mind. Frustration convinces you to walk away from careers you built over years. Anger tells you to burn bridges with people who matter. Discouragement whispers that your dreams were foolish and you listen. But when you learn to manage your emotions, you make decisions based on wisdom and long-term thinking. You stay calm under pressure. You respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. You create lasting happiness instead of chasing temporary pleasure. Here's what successful people understand. Emotions are like weather. They come and go. You don't have to be swept away by every storm. You can learn to observe them, understand what they're telling you, and choose how to respond. Let me show you the dramatic difference this makes with two contrasting examples. In the late 1990s, Britney Spears ruled the music world with hit after hit. To the outside world, she looked unstoppable, but behind the spotlight, the pressure was crushing. Paparazzi followed her every move, tabloids turned her struggles into headlines, and she faced divorce and custody battles at the same time. In 2007, it all collapsed. The head-shaving incident showed a woman overwhelmed by emotions she could not control, leading to a conservatorship that took away her freedom for over a decade. Britney's story is a clear reminder. Without emotional control, even the most successful people can lose everything, including the power over their own life. Now contrast that with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. At 23, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson hit rock bottom. His pro football dreams in the Canadian Football League crumbled after injuries and being cut from the team. Broke and wrestling with depression, he faced some of his darkest days. In those moments, he stood at a crossroads where giving up could have defined his story, but he chose to fight. Instead of letting despair take over, The Rock doubled down on discipline. He threw himself into intense workouts, focused on staying mentally tough. By channeling negative emotions into hard work, he turned his life around, one step at a time. Now, Dwayne Johnson isn't just one of Hollywood's biggest stars, he's a global symbol of grit and positivity. His relentless work ethic and mental strength inspire millions. By mastering his emotions, The Rock didn't just rebuild himself, he created a legacy that shows what's possible when you choose resilience over surrender. Take control of your emotions starting today. Don't let feelings sweep you away anymore. Transform them into motivation and live a life of inner peace and strength. Begin by practicing daily meditation and gratitude for what you already have. The key to emotional mastery begins with recognizing that emotions are information, not commands. When you feel angry, sad, frustrated, or scared, don't automatically act on those feelings. Instead, pause and ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? What do I need to pay attention to? Emotions are signals from your inner wisdom, not orders you must obey. This means consciously changing how you interpret situations. Instead of thinking, "This is terrible," try, "This is challenging, but I can handle it." Instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" try, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of, "This ruined everything," try, "This is just one moment in my journey." The situation stays the same, but your emotional response transforms completely. To strengthen your emotional foundation, develop a powerful daily gratitude practice. Every morning, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for. They don't have to be major achievements. Maybe you're grateful for your health, your family, your home, or simply the fact that you have another day to improve your life. Gratitude is like exercise for your emotional muscles. The more you practice it, the stronger your positive emotional state becomes. As you build these habits, learn to distinguish between what you can and cannot control. Most emotional suffering comes from trying to control things outside your influence. You can't control other people's actions, past events, or future uncertainties. But you can control your response, your effort, and your attitude. When you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, "What's the one thing I can change in this moment?" This awareness naturally leads to practicing mindfulness and present moment awareness. Most emotional pain comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. When you learn to stay present, you usually discover that right now, in this moment, you're actually okay. Mindfulness helps you observe your emotions without being consumed by them. However, you also need healthy ways to handle tough emotions. Don't bottle them up and don't let them explode in the wrong place. Find constructive outlets instead: exercise, journaling, talking with trusted friends, creating art, deep breathing, or walking in nature. Deal with your emotions before they build up and take control of you. Most importantly, be careful with your words. When you're emotional, strong feelings can make you say things you'll regret for years. If you're angry, sad, or frustrated, give yourself time to cool down before any important conversation. Hurtful words can't be taken back, and choices made in emotion often lead to consequences you don't want. Emotional mastery doesn't mean shutting off your feelings. It means allowing yourself to feel while still thinking clearly and acting wisely. When you master your emotions, you take control of your life. Control your money, the foundation of freedom. Money isn't just currency, it's freedom in a tangible form. It gives you choices, security, and the chance to live by your values instead of just scraping by paycheck to paycheck. The way you handle money shows your discipline, your vision for the future, and your ability to wait for greater rewards. Most people have this relationship completely backwards. Instead of controlling their money, they let money control them. They spend impulsively on things that don't matter. They buy stuff to impress people they don't even like. They go into debt for temporary pleasures and then spend years paying for moments of weakness. When you don't control your money, it owns you. You work jobs you hate, stay stuck in bad situations, miss big opportunities, and worry non-stop about bills and the future. But when you control your money, you own your life. You have options, you take smart risks, you invest in yourself, and you live by your values instead of desperation. Financial control isn't about being cheap or never enjoying life. It's about being intentional with your resources so you can have the life you actually want instead of just getting by. Let me show you 2 powerful examples of how money mastery changes everything. Warren Buffett is worth over $100 billion, making him one of the wealthiest people in human history. But he still lives in the same modest house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. He drives older cars, doesn't buy expensive clothes, and avoids flashy purchases that many wealthy people consider normal. Some people think Warren Buffett is just cheap. In reality, he's smart with money. He knows that every dollar not spent on showing off can be invested to grow bigger in the future. That's why he said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. His financial discipline didn't just make him incredibly wealthy. It gave him the freedom to do work he loves, invest in companies he believes in, and give away billions of dollars to causes that matter to him. His money serves his values, not the other way around. Now, let me tell you about Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He wasn't born into wealth or privilege. In fact, he went completely bankrupt in the 1970s, losing everything he had worked to build. Most people in that situation would give up, blame circumstances, or accept that financial success just wasn't meant for them. But Robert Kiyosaki treated his failure as the most valuable lesson of his life. He studied how money truly works, learned the difference between assets and liabilities, and built systems that created passive income. Today, Robert is financially free. He doesn't work for money, his money works for him. He has built multiple income streams that keep growing even while he sleeps. And through his financial education, he has helped millions of people around the world change the way they think about money. The difference between financial freedom and financial slavery isn't how much money you earn. It's how wisely you manage the money you have. Don't wait another day to take control of your financial destiny. Start by creating a budget immediately and committing to save a portion of every dollar you earn. Because your wealthy future begins with today's disciplined choices. Your journey to financial freedom must begin with educating yourself about money relentlessly. Most people know more about their favorite celebrities than they know about personal finance, investing, and wealth building. Read books by successful investors, take courses on budgeting and financial planning. Listen to podcasts about money management. Learn from people who have achieved the financial results you want. Once you understand the basics, create a detailed budget and track every single expense. You cannot control what you do not measure. Write down exactly how much money comes in each month and where every dollar goes. Most people are shocked when they see how much they spend on unnecessary purchases, subscriptions, and impulse buys. Awareness is the first step toward positive change. With this awareness in place, build an emergency fund before you do anything else. Start by saving $1,000 as quickly as possible, then work toward saving 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This emergency fund will give you peace of mind and prevent you from going into debt when unexpected expenses arise. It's your financial security blanket and your first step toward real freedom. Simultaneously, you need to eliminate debt like it's financial poison. Credit card debt, unnecessary car loans, and other consumer debt are wealth killers. Every dollar you pay in interest is a dollar that can't work for your future. If you have debt, make paying it off your highest priority after building your emergency fund. Attack it with intensity and focus. As you eliminate debt, make sure to live below your means, not at your means. Just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. Wealthy people often live like they make less money than they actually do. This creates a gap between income and expenses that can be invested for long-term growth and compound returns. To accelerate your progress, create multiple streams of income. Don't depend on just one source of money. Look for ways to earn additional income through side businesses, freelancing, skill development, or investments. Multiple income streams provide security and accelerate your journey to financial independence. Once you have your foundation solid, start investing as early as possible. Learn about stocks, bonds, real estate, and other investment vehicles. Begin investing immediately, even if you can only start with small amounts. Time and compound interest are your greatest allies in building substantial wealth. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. To make this process effortless, automate your financial success. Set up automatic transfers to savings and investment accounts. When money automatically goes toward your future before you have a chance to spend it, you won't even miss it. Pay your future self first before you pay anyone else or spend on anything else. Throughout this process, remember that money is a tool to build the life you want, not the meaning of life itself. The purpose of financial control is not to pile up cash like a dragon guarding treasure. It's to create freedom, security, and the ability to live by your values. Money should serve your goals, not become your only goal. Financial discipline is one of the purest forms of self-respect. When you manage your money wisely, you're proving to yourself that you care more about long-term freedom than short-term pleasure. Control your mouth, mind, mood, and money. Here's what you need to understand. Your mouth, mind, mood, and money are not separate parts of your life. They are deeply connected, and together they shape your success, your happiness, and your freedom. When one is weak, the others are affected, but when all four are strong, they create a foundation that nothing can shake. Think about how they connect. When you can't control your mouth, you hurt relationships and lose opportunities, which then affects your money and your emotions. When you can't control your mind, you make poor money choices and let negative thoughts drag down your mood. When you can't control your mood, you say things you regret and spend money carelessly, setting yourself back for months or even years. When you can't control your money, you live under stress every day, which clouds your thinking and makes your emotions unstable. But when you master all four areas, your life changes in powerful ways. Controlled words build trust and open opportunities. A disciplined mind sees solutions where others only see problems. Steady emotions guide you to make wise choices, even in stressful moments. And financial discipline gives you freedom, allowing you to take smart risks and keep investing in your future growth. This is why successful people seem to have everything together. It's not because they're lucky or naturally gifted, it's because they've learned to strengthen all four pillars simultaneously. They understand that external success must be built on a foundation of internal discipline. Right now, at this very moment, you face a choice. You can keep living the same way, letting your mouth, mind, mood, and money control you like a puppet on strings. Or you can decide today to take control and start building the life you truly deserve. This isn't about becoming perfect overnight. No one masters all four areas instantly. It's about committing to daily progress. It's about choosing better decisions today than yesterday, and even better ones tomorrow than today. The people who achieve extraordinary results aren't extraordinary people. They're ordinary people who make extraordinary choices consistently over time. They choose to control their words when it would be easier to complain or gossip. They choose to direct their thoughts when it would be easier to worry and doubt. They choose to manage their emotions when it would be easier to react and blame. They choose to discipline their finances when it would be easier to spend and hope for the best. These daily choices slowly add up, just like saving money little by little in a bank account. Small actions you repeat every day can turn into big results. Most people only see success at the end, but they don't realize it was built step by step. Every day you practice control over your mouth, mind, mood, and money, you become stronger, smarter, more confident, and more successful. You're creating a stable base that can support any goal or dream you truly want to achieve. The life that's waiting for you. Imagine yourself a year from now, stronger, calmer, and fully in control. Your words earn trust, your mind creates solutions, your emotions stay steady, and your money works for you. That is the life you can build, one choice at a time, starting today. This isn't just a pleasant fantasy. This is what actually happens when you take control of these fundamental areas of life. Thousands of people have completely transformed their lives by strengthening these 4 pillars. You can be next, but only if you're willing to do the work. You have to start today, not tomorrow when you feel more motivated. Not next week when your schedule is clearer. Not next month when your circumstances are better. Today, right now, because every day you wait is a day that your current patterns get stronger and more difficult to change. Every day you wait, someone else moves forward by doing the things you know you should do. Every minute you spend wishing life was different is a minute you could use to change it. You are capable of more than you think. You can control your words, guide your thoughts, manage your emotions, and handle your money. You already have what it takes to build the life you want. But that power only works when you choose to use it. The question isn't whether you can do this. The question is if you will. Will you take control today? Or will you let your mouth, mind, mood, and money control you for another day, another week, another year? Your future is waiting for your decision. What will you choose? Take the first step now. You don't need perfect conditions or the right time. What you need is the courage to take the first step today and the commitment to keep showing up tomorrow. These 4 areas are already in your hands. With small, steady actions every single day, you'll see changes that build into something life-changing. Bit by bit, you'll grow stronger, freer, and closer to the life you actually want. If this message has inspired you to take action, please show your support by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to Fluent English with Riadio. We're not just here to help you improve your English skills. We're here to support you in becoming the most successful, confident, and fulfilled version of yourself. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest content. Remember, you're not on this journey alone. At Fluent English with Riadio, we're growing with you every step of the way. We're here to push you forward, remind you of your strength, and help you build the confidence to succeed in life and in English. We'll be here, walking alongside you on this journey, celebrating your victories and encouraging you through challenges. Your transformation starts with your very next choice, and we're honored to be part of your growth. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep taking control of your life, one decision at a time. The life you want is waiting for you to claim it.